Hello, this is Professor Mike Bernanke of the University of Detroit Mercy. Today with podcast number 29. It is the 26th day of May 2015. Thank you for our supporters, Immersive Engineering, Secondary Schools, Oakland, Secondary Schools, Immersive Engineering, as I mentioned, University of Detroit Mercy. Today's podcast will follow the program on Volume 25, Issue 43 of Under the Microscope. We're going to talk about product placement. There's a lot of numbers that are important in movies and movie making. We've already discussed the idea of summer movies and how that came into existence, etc. But we think that the real hidden gem of it all probably is product placement in movies and in other forms of entertainment, not only movies. As a matter of fact, I guess we can start off by saying that over 70% of all product placement to date occurs in television, not in movies. It doesn't make it less important. That's for sure, that's on television. Okay, so let's take a look at this in total. Americans are exposed to 3,000 brands per day, whether from billboards, from inside their billfolds, from their mailed medical bills, from their blue jean pockets, baseball, basketball caps, etc. That number yields a yearly total of over 1 million per person. What that means, we're talking about adults. Now, adult America is blessed with almost 200 billion impressions, almost 190. I'll lessen it, be more realistic. 190 billion brand impressions. It's an awful lot during any given year. The tie between product placement and movies is long and storied. In 1927, Best Picture Oscar winner Wings had an extended scene with the Happy Hershey's bars. Yeah, Hershey bar. No flicks have ever done better product placement better, though, than the Bonds franchise. Nobody drives a certain car or drinks a certain drink, excuse me, better than 007. Though his martini is shaken, not stirred, his brand of vodka has changed over the years. Absolute, Smirnoff, and Stoilichna all have been sponsors. In 1995, BMW spent $3 million to replace Bond's Aston Martin with its Z3. BMW accordingly had a $240 million lift in sales. Now, we can't say cause and effect, but we know this happened, so draw your own conclusion. Bond's 1999 flick, The World Is Not Enough, broke all records by selling $100 million of product placement. Wow. What does that mean on the screen anyway? So we can, in the next paragraph, we talk about Casino Royale in 2006 and the fact that Gordon Gin was brought into the mix. He preferred martini with gin, and Gordon's gin actually was a quote in the 1953 Ian Fleming book itself. So it was easy to introduce that. Heineken, sorry about all this drinking stuff, but these are where the research data kind of comes into impact. Anyway, research data impacts our presentation, that's for sure. Anyway, so Heineken was brought into the mix without trying to be too cute here. And what we can say is if Jaws birthed the summer blockbuster, we already know that to be a fact, and Bonds has been his primary advocate. The real blockbuster, though, product placement came from E.T. in 1982. It was the first superstar in product placement. E.T.'s Reese's Pieces said it all. They had a campaign on it and successfully introduced the product. One product that you don't see, that doesn't pay, I should say, we see very often, on the big screen is Apple. Everybody loves Apple, so guess what? Apple doesn't look like they pay for anything. What they do is they allow movies to use their brand, and so that's not such a bad deal, is it? As a matter of fact, since 2001, Apple's been in more than 1/3 of the number one summer movie, whatever it happens to be. It's a prized bite to note in movies, and that's Apple product placement. Avengers 2 tried product placement with a city, as a matter of fact, or I should say with a country, South Korea. South Korea paid $4 million to portray Korea as a high-tech, modern country while avoiding any negative portrayal of it. Very rarely do you see that. And also there's a South Korean star, Claudia Kim, in the movie, as she was Dr. Helen Cho. By the way, to the best of our knowledge, and we looked at it just a day or two ago, it's the number one movie still in South Korea, that is Avengers 2. This summer's number one flick, Avengers 2, is loaded with product placements and marketing tie-ins. Audi's website features a coupe and A3 cabriolet, I'll get it right, thank you, with Avengers in it. Audi is also with Stan Lee in a video, Stan Lee cameo school. Additionally, Avengers 2 is attached to Adidas, Beats by Dre, Dr. Pepper, Gillette, Harley Davidson, Samsung Galaxy, Subway and Doritos, and Under Armour. Beyond Avengers 2, we find many top summer flicks with product placements. As a matter of fact, many brands are repeat offenders. The autos, Aston Martin, BMW, Fiat, GM, Mercedes, and VW all are in multiple summer movies. Eats and drinks such as InBev and Pepsi also are there, as are Apple, Beats by Dre, Everlast, Nike, Samsung, and Sony. Multiple placements, at least 2 placements per. So product placement is becoming more and more and more a positive issue for Hollywood. Movies will pay for them, advertisers will pay for them, promoters will pay for them, and the movies will gladly take it. Ted's 2 product placements are directed at young R-rated target viewers with the likes of Bud Light, Stella Artois, Jack Daniels, Xbox, DirecTV, Slim Jims, Bic Lighters, and a Super Bowl champ Tom Brady appearance. And even King LeBron James is seen in Trainwreck holding a smart water. Pitch Perfect 2 connects with almost every product that a 16-year-old girl could ever want. This is Pitch Perfect 2 that did pretty well at the box office, by the way, this weekend. Nike, Apple's iPhone, VW's Bug, CoverGirl, Pantene, Voss Water, Beats by Dre, HP Laptop, MTV, and Dave & Buster's. Let's be very clear about the value of product placement. It's very unclear and uncertain. In the December 14th, 2013 issue of Priceonomics, it was estimated that the total spending on product placement had reached $7.55 billion. And by the way, it was also calculated that the value of those placements was nearly $14 billion. Okay, given the same corresponding growth data that we present, it looks at the end of 2015 that the total spending on product placement is going to be about $26 billion, with the reach value, that is the eyeballs viewing this, at $33 billion. It's clear that the spend reach value ratio currently favors product placement. If marketers and advertisers are inevitably concerned about the spend reach ratio, it's time to find another occupation. What? Look, it's always driving sales. That's what it's about. It's driving sales. With the value of conventional advertising diminishing these days, product placement is a promising tool. A new kid on the block, except we know it's not new at all, but something that's going to be looked at more and more to help sell products. The match of having a correct product with the appropriate flick to the best possible character as it seriously connects to the desired audience profile is mandatory. We favor the South Korean approach to prescribing an outcome. Additionally, in other words, knowing what you want and paying for it and make sure that you get it. Additionally, we suggest that pre and post measures be taken, testing, to make sure that the desired outcomes occur with make good clauses in the contract. In other words, if it doesn't happen, then you don't pay for it. You get it for nothing. And it's only with a carefully worded contract and knowing what you're doing. Product placement is a new kid on the block, but it's not new at all. It adds substantial luster to marketing and advertising if you do it the right way. Do it the right way, please. This is Mike Bernanke speaking for America's Marketing High School with our engineering, immersive engineering is our private sector partners, secondary, Oakland schools, educational partners, and higher ed partner, University of Detroit Mercy. Saying, see you next podcast if we get one more in yet this year. That would be podcast 30. We'll see. So long.